Hello and welcome to the Arena Addons guide from LearnToPlayWow.com. In this guide I will present Gladius, CCtracker, Diminishing Returns, SpellAlerter, Quartz and Interrupt Bar. These add-ons work well together with the add-ons presented in the combat section, Power Auras, Ghost Pulse and Class Timer. Download the links are below this video. Also, if you have any questions regarding these add-ons, feel free to ask on the forums. I will start with Gladius. Gladius is a well-known Arena Unit Frames add-on. To see some test bars for free versus free, type /Gladius test free. It displays the enemy class, spec, health, power bar and spellcasting bar. Check lock to move it around. By default, left-click selects a target, right-click sets focus. You can modify this from the Click Actions tab. Gladius can give raid warnings for various events. You may want to take out the race from the text info, so you can better see the spec. What's most useful about Gladius is that it can display the more important effects on the enemy players, like CCs or immunities. These will display over the class icon and are called auras. You can add delete auras and set a priority for each. Note that the one with the highest priority will be on top. The priority order is useful for when more than one effect takes place. You should see the one that matters to you most. The default setup is fairly well made. These auras are very important when CCing, as you usually want to link the CCs and you always want to see the auras in time with little or no effort, and that means making the aura icon larger. Unfortunately, you can only make the aura size larger by making the corresponding class icon larger, and that means making the health or power bars perhaps larger than needed on the screen. If you would like to have some other means of noticing CCs, then you can try CCtracker. CCtracker can show effects for your party members and for your enemies. You can let Gladius handle the effects on the enemies while using CCtracker to see the CCs on your party members. In the config menu, select Show Anchor to see where the bars are. Move them by holding Alt and dragging. You will notice I have my friendly bar to the left, where my teammates are. You might want to set up a fade time to 0 for more responsiveness, and increase the size so you can notice the effects more quickly. Be fast to notice a silence on your healer and you might just be able to stay alive. Type CCtracker test to check them out. Okay, so if you are linking CCs, you might want to know the time on Diminishing Returns. A great add-on for that is, well, actually called Diminishing Returns. It fits really well with Gladius and doesn't require any serious configuring. It really is invaluable for druids or mages, classes that have their CC spell with no cooldown. You will want to avoid getting that immune effect on your target after 3 consecutive CCs. Thus, use this and you will know when the diminishing returns end so you can CC some more. Delete the effects that don't interest you. For example, on my druid I only want to see cyclones and roots, so I take out everything else. Check test to test it out. Set the icon size from Frame Options Gladius icon size. SpellAlerter gives yet another way of noticing enemy spellcasts. Type /SA to see the configuration menu. You can add or remove spells that interest you. This add-on will spam in most games, not to mention in free versus free with double enemy casters. You can reduce the spam effect by taking out some of the spells that you don't really need. The advantage that SpellAlerter has over, let's say, Ghost Pulse, Power Auras or Quartz is that it shows who is casting on who, so you know whether the enemy is casting on you or on your healer. The disadvantage is that it doesn't allow to set up a focus cast, and by that I mean to set focus to an enemy, healer or DPS and watch only his casts. And that brings us to Quartz. Quartz can be used to see the focused enemy spellcast in a clear frame, and that can be really useful if you want to CC or interrupt. In my add-on list I only have Quartz and Quartz Focused enabled. The rest of it is mostly intended for casters. For casters, this add-on is useful because you can modify the way your cast bar looks, and more importantly, healers can better notice when they get interrupted. If you wish to set up your focus cast bar, go to Focus, uncheck Lock to move it. And here you will find a couple of options that relate to its size, texture and text. Yet unfortunately no options yet to set it to display only for specific spells. As presented in the other videos, use Power Auras or Ghost Pulse if you wish to see warnings for specific spells. If you are a healer that doesn't really enjoy getting interrupted, you can try Interrupt Bar. When the enemy skill is on cooldown, you can freely cast away your large heals. When it's off cooldown, you can try to fake cast. Type /IB to set the options. Position the spells, type IB hidden, and that is basically it. Now, when the enemy uses a kick effect on you, you will notice the respective enemy icon will pop up. Well, it doesn't show Arcane Torrent and a couple of other interrupts like various stuns, but I think that you are better off without those, for if you were to keep track of all of them, you would get too distracted focusing on them rather than on something else. Another useful arena add-on is a Loft. It changes the way the enemy or friendly nameplates look. It can also take out some of the more annoying nameplates, like the snakes from a hunter snake trap or the totems from a shaman. Configuration options are a bit complicated. Type /aloft waterfall to enter the menu. You can enable various modules that interest you. I have alpha, icon and visibility added. I use alpha to fade out the nameplates of whoever is not my target. I use visibility for the hunter snakes and for the totems. This has been a guide from LearnToPlayWow.com. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the arena.